Jumden Gombo Jawara La Janzalo, Gangalo Dudmi Dudani Danandara Survey. Junior Dongan Juju Jirni Gita Garalawamza, Ganda de Bidor Marumondo Dungraji Survey. Rozogan Lava Judarje Allah Duja Danzon, Dudraji Donya Monia Loni Jijando Domzach. Marumanzer Dingoramniga Jenya Jumza Rajana, Doni Dajan Sabjin Dajan Danzo Diajituk. Jujal Jadal Jenny Jajim Dalu Mazir Jahura Landa, Umara Bazanada, Umara Bazanada, Umara Bazanada. Umara Bazanada, Umara Bazanada, Umara Bazanada, Umara Bazanada, Umara Bazanada, Umara Bazanada, Tedun Jim Jiro was a regime, Dalu the Mambara Zandi. Guadan Danju Jolo Dobai, Lodu Hubi Nawa Kid Soro. Yonji Jimbo to the new Mejan, Zone Morum Jimbo Nadiat, Pagaradangan Zandu Jemerdo, Domba de Jala Chanzalo. Ya, Tani, Terangazo, Rugba, Chusoko, Tani, Lomanamba Tanche, La, Tomer, Tani, Shito, Delakan, Samjigayens.
So first of all, I'd like to say good afternoon and extend warm greetings to all of the students of Rigpa who have come here today.
Tani, Mato Nanan Galotela Yang Tani, Yang Rigba Chusoko Nangla Yongni, Tani Mato Samala, Chuchet, Tani Shadi Resong, Tani Talo Yang Yang de la Taniba Yongni. So I
had the opportunity to come last year and give a teaching here, and now this year I've had the chance once again to come here and give a second teaching is something that I'm really very happy about.
Tani Kung Namba Haliba Tani Tunang Tagnibori, Tani Narang Soyanang, the Dandaboga, Tarta Tani Petini Tunang, Tani Tambose Gonandra, Tagnibo Tani Yins.
Sodju Rinpoche and Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok were extremely close in their hearts, and this is also how I feel and we feel in respect of Sodju Rinpoche.
Tendi indi teni ngacho yang sacha galan jona yang teni rupa chusoko teni chuso yosati so nangla penatari kampara inna ja teni teni roju shongso teni namgin teni roju korkup teni yongand te pe kabo yos.
So as I've travelled around different places, such as just a few days ago in Canberra, to have the opportunity to give teachings in Rigpa centres is something I'm really glad about.
Teni terang ngacho chuche shepi tomar ta ngacho Rigpa chusoko teni loma ina tsama loma nyangbare teni tsama chuba teni nyangba teni tatare te ina ngacho chuba chuchet the ngomata teni shatandra boshini teni nge teni shini shakayins.
So before we begin the teaching this afternoon, I'd just like to comment that being here in the Rigpa Centre, most of you will be old students of Rigpa, and for this reason I would like to deliver my teaching in a style that's oriented towards sincere practitioners.
Teni Rigpa Chutsuyina Loma Tanchi Teni Chupa Nyangba Yimba Matsu Teni Tsama Sanga Dorji Tabala Lo Jong Shinken Zoba Chimbola Nyamlin Shinken that Tindi Tataris.
And in addition to being old students or students who have been studying the Dharma for some time, you're also students of the Vajrayana and practitioners of the Dzogchen lineage.
Tani ta Tindi Inding Atsu Chutushan Nanja Gomjam Nanja Tani Atsu Nyemba Jang Nanja Gang Dang Gang Yen Nayang Atsu Manjing Omati tani shanchip ko simte yo go re.
So, since this is the case, regardless of what kind of practice we're doing, whether it's meditation or chanting mantras, then our basic foundation upon which all this takes place is our bodhicitta.
Tani zoba chimbo zeyate kandis ko loma kandis ko tani da nyamselenya ko tani chu tani zrezena tani lama la pe tapa yabo yonken tani chula tani pe yichi yabo yonken ko tani ko loma go re.
In respect of what kind of student is suitable to study the Dzogchen teachings, it's said that the student needs to have great faith in the Dharma as well as great faith in their teacher.
Tani lo kashi ga tani gongla tani ngarang tani inji ga okusfola tani agong rinpoche ga loma tani mambo zita two songs.
A few years ago, I visited Oxford University and had the chance to meet with former students of Agong Rinpoche.
Tani agong rinpoche loma te so sama mang chi shu tani kwarang so lama tenni lo ngapji in zenkan lo jibji in zenkan tani lo simshin in zenkan o tani kyang kyang rendus.
And among these students, most of them had studied with Agong Rinpoche, had relied on him as a teacher for periods between 30 years, 40 years and 50 years.
Tani kwarang so lama chik la tenni tani sim tambo shi ni tani yin rambo la tani chula lo jong shi tani nyamlin shi tani shenken tani ko sim tambo muschi la tani muschi ko jisam jang lama shi ko jisam jang lama shi la tapa shi tani sim yerwa me ba shenken tani rendus.
And these students were the kind of students who, for their entire lifetime, had relied on a teacher, relied on the same teacher in an unfaltering and constant and stable way.
And
in my understanding, those of you here today are probably like this.
Tani sanga dorji thabazeya ta khabar to zoba chimbo shagja chimbo zeya tindi chude the tindi gloma tambu tindi nyamselenya go chu tindi zre.
And the teachings of the Vajrayana, and in particular the Mahamudra teachings and the teachings of Dzogchen, they really require stable students like this.
Tani zoba chimbo khabar to sanga dorji thabada khabar to zoba chimbo te soyena tani sim tambo menken jada ta terang pernan deni lojong chena yang sani yang jambazulan ronken tendi pernanga so chude na ta de yakbo onduk ta yang de yakbo onduk ta ta changma tendi damga mambo shenken teni semlan gerwa mambo yonken tendi nyamlen che gona te khabo yores.
So the teachings of the Vajrayana, and in particular the Dzogchen teachings, for people who are very changeable in their attitude, one moving between this teacher and the next, looking to see what teaching is attractive over here and over there, people who are not stable in their capacity to follow a teacher, these teachings are not particularly suitable for them.
Tini tenga cho jagar ko tini sanga dorji thabaga lorji ta tani po ko tini sanga dorji thabaga lorji tani lama da loma te so tani lojong condition de gomnyam kan ti jam tu te so la tana tani saro ko yore se tini zi yembate.
And we can know that this is the case by looking at the history of the teacher-student relationships of the Vajrayana teachings as they unfolded in India and as well as in Tibet.
Tini nga cho sherdang pena mi mambo zu ko tarta yana pena kanjin ra ore jena nga cho lama de ta nga cho pena lobja girgun rabo tendi zu la tsne teni nga cho chu de mashina teni lama zhong ne teni lojong che anda ta tendi zu la sam lo tang ga yore se mi mambo zu ko.
There are many people these days who approach a lama or a spiritual guide much like a teacher in a school. So, not knowing the Dharma, they go and find a teacher in order to learn what they don't know.
Tani ngone tani shana tani mare se lama de so pena terang atsun dinang la ngatsu tani bok lama gar pa de chama dinang la tani nduk tani khongchong ra oyena tani shirtang koso girgin chik bozo ka tsakayo marze korang tso chip ten muksir kadini korang tso nipa korang tso ko lila yena korang tso ko semla yena le korang tso ko tini ngakla yena nipa muksir wa tini nipa kyabar wa tini yorese.
But in actual fact, it's not so simple or monofaceted as this. And if we look around the room and at all these pictures of these great past masters, that their power was not simply that of a regular teacher. In terms of their body, their speech, and the mind, they had they have extraordinary powers in each of these respects.
Tini tenga tso lama te tso nangla njoni kabda mambo shea ta lojang mambo tindi shena da te nyamsin yonga tindi yore da te matsa te korang tso chila njoni tini ndugna tini koso nipa de aso semgnangla musirwa tindi top yongje chorwa tindi musirwa te yongge yore.
So in addition to meeting with such teachers and studying from them, by being in their presence and learning with them in this way, it's possible through a feeling or through an energy to receive their extraordinary benefit.
Tani korangso namgin tani zogba chenpo gom tani semjin tamje pola nyangje gom tani shene gom gyabdepi gimtsengi korangso go tis lig nane zegona korangso go sem go tone tani go par niba tani chabarwa tani namgin yonggo yores. korangso go tani zogba chenpo gom jeta tani semjin tamje la nyangje fyangchipji sem tani gombi gimtsengi tani korangso perna ngaso perna lola ina korang wazir mambo tani yongndo marme ina korang wazir yo pandrawo chene korang so li gtone tani nga so mukam tongya me pa tani nipa tani nami yonggo yores.
So on account of their long-term dzogchen practice and their long-term meditation on bodhicitta, from their body radiates a special kind of energy, rather like a light that emits a kind of brightness.
And
the pictures of the various great masters on the wall here, they are all just like this. And coming in their midst and receiving their teachings, then it's possible for students to really manifest change, to be changed by being in their presence. So they're really not like ordinary people at all.
Mukun 통해요 말다 이나가서 심고 돌아대 소르와대 소르톱거리 냠슨 용톱거리 때 무서와레 만자와레 삼바데 심고 돌아 가서 냠슨 용톱거리서.
So even though we can't see their power with our naked eyes, it's certainly possible from our hearts to feel their extraordinary power.
Teni karte loma korang rangnit teni taba yakbo yongken teni ziyna te teli kyang teni soruwa대 yakbo.
And if the student who comes before them is one with extraordinary faith themselves, then the benefit of that blessing power will be received in an even more extraordinary way. So various influential people in society today, whether they be scientists or philosophers or other thinkers, it's not possible to gain from their presences this kind of extraordinary power. If we're to chat or have a conversation, dialogue with such philosophers or scientists, then the main impression we gain is one of speaking with people who have great intelligence.
teni teriaga teni pata kocho stilayang yo mare.
However, in terms of any greater effect on our mind, we don't derive this from our exchanges with them.
They may be gimsende ti koranso shanshipji sem magumba dang teni zogba chimbo teni the rugba magumba gimsenji res.
And the reason for that is that they are not practitioners and meditators on bodhicitta, and they're not practitioners and meditators on the Dzogchen teachings.
Pernangazo shilola nyamayo ine kumnangazo shilola teni nyamayo satela nrojana ten lamsang ngazo lipo thola chot teni nyamayo chot ngazo lamsang chortop gres lipo.
If it's a sunny day and we go outside, then immediately we feel the warmth of the sun rays on our skin and we become warm.
Tane zoba chimbo da shangship ko sim nyamlin chingang ga lama teso ta tetang rabore ngazo tindi khoso da nyamda kabda da tini chiena yana nyamda tindi ndugna tani ngazo lipo mareze sem go thola tani tindi go chorwa tindi ngi kongna shepa tindi go nawa par njern roya go tindi sem go thola jini jebo yongya da nine ngazo rang yang de semjin la nyangji yongya da tani ju musar ka ju nelik zina tindi go de musar ngazo namjin ngazo hamago wi dondak tindi mangbo jimsun mepi go ne ha gon roanda tindi yongres.
And it's the same with special teachers, practitioners, teachers, masters of Dzogchen, and meditators on bodhicitta. When we're in the presence of such masters, we also change like this. We experience a feeling of great happiness. We also benefit from their great compassion from other beings and begin to really engender the same capacity within ourselves. And through being with them, through chatting with them or simply being in their presence, it's possible for us to gain understandings of realizations and realization of things without necessarily having had them taught to us.
Yena dini kochola dini ngazu shusoni partana kocho jigdini ju gomba diso dini chandru boyak bo gongkhenrada dini rolukta diso chama jigdini ju mo rolukta halepa dini thumkhanda ju yarab gdini ju drugstore diso la hajang dankhenda dini ji yimbingi payo mare koranso kaja shandanda koranso lekalena pe kemsrnda wo dini yoris.
However, in terms of their personal presentation, they might not be people who speak in perfectly polite and civilized ways. Sometimes some of their actions and behavior might be a bit strange.
Yena koranso dini ji kemsrnda bo dinala shawaleka kemsrnda bo dinala dani ngachola loma chola dinala goa mambo lengi yoris.
However, from their strange actions and behavior, it's possible for us as students to derive all kinds of understandings.
Tani lama de ngachon chila mena yang pena tha rambo la tinti yona tani ngacho lama la yak ten lojong ya bo shi tinti shi charwi jini tani ngacho lama gan chila mena yang lama de tha rambo la yona di chorwa de ngacho la namgin lebgres.
So if we have great faith in our teacher and we've been able to study with them and benefit from being with them, then even when they are remote from us, even when they're extremely far away, then we can still have the feeling in our hearts of being very, very close to them.
Tani namjin tinti soso nyamle yakbo shetamna tinti yongres.
And in our everyday practice, we can achieve very good results.
Ja, tani tanga so de ndi nandon jonga nandon tenge kosola ngotu she napa sola ngotu she yin.
And I'd like to begin with the teaching of the text that we have here today.
Tani de nyangtam nyanga thgle zeyande tani lama yujino koranga tani chujin Jigme Phuntsok tani janag ru tani phevne nyamlin shi pi kaps tani songba tani zres.
And the text that we have today, The Heart Essence, My Heart's Advice by Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok, or Lama Wish Fulfilling Jewel, was written during his travels to Wutai Shan in China to engage in practice.
Tani de ngacho Longchin ba tani semyen ngarso zobachimbo semyen ngarso tang zobachimbo semyen ngarso tangse.
And this text is based on, or is a condensing of meanings from Longchenpa's treasury of finding comfort and ease in the nature of the mind.
Tani tetang rinzin Jigme lambaga tani yonder rambo chimzot o ti nikaga annat tani dini tani shejaba tani zres.
So this text is considered a concentration, a condensed form of the main points from Longchenpa's Finding Comfort and Ease in the Nature of the Mind, as well as Jigme Limba's Treasury of Precious Qualities.
Tani de nangla tani ngaso muschiga the nyamlin te chama cha changbaz tani mangje nyamlin ni tani zoba chimbo part chama cha changbaz yores nala.
And contained within this text is a complete path of practice from the very beginning, from the preliminary practices right through to the highest dzogchen practices.
Tani nyangtam nyanga tagle jiso ramjim tripje yarwi sansam kan chibdim san khoy zsen man bi ko jon na ba nyama kan ti kyolo shangchib lan de gyoron zum tahlin robi mulo tang sambi zawyang chutsur hwaqi malang ya na tater ni nyamse lembi tsir nyangtam nyambo nyangdi tola damsi ta tinala ngacho te ta jong de zombi kaps tomar tani jibzen jamba yang la shangchar wa ta tenji ge ton da res.
So in the first two verses of the Heart Essence, we're really talking about supplicating Manjushri.
Tani ngaso chute pe ta namba chute tani thaba chimbo dorji thaba ha lipa ja chimbo re te kansa ngaso mis chi ka tani lojong che gona da khatsang lojong che kala tham ngaso mis chi ka changma par lok gona yang tani lok msis chi la lok mata ban ra tani mambo yo re ta ina ngaso nyamlin chi bi ka se tani mambo go mari nyamlin te ngaso yang onna ndor diba tani zi ka toni nyamlin che gre te ina di nangla tani nyamlin chi tsit tab de bo chi ne songo yen sone te songo res.
So in terms of all of the teachings of the Mahayana tradition and the Vajrayana tradition combined, they're so vast and so massive that it would be, of course, never possible for a single person to cover them in one lifetime. But in terms of practice, we don't need that much. In fact, what we need to do is to grasp all the main points, and this is what is important for our practice. So within the Heart Essence, today's text, a condensed and simplified, convenient path of practice is set out.
Muscula samlo tana ngachola tsinda chipo mato tani jamba ka ke samlo tangi me pena ngacho tsindi thola tani gormo mambo saya ta tani sozorang ke botang ya da tani khamba chimbo da langkhor jigbo da tani chipo mato ba jamba ka ke samlo motang tindi yinna tani ngacho chude joluk zawani yo mares.
So the third verse, beginning with becoming attached to this life, you'll lose your fortunate connection to the Dharma. In this verse, we are talking about one's motivation, and people who are concerned only with worldly pursuits in life, accumulating money, houses and cars and things like this, not concerning themselves for any goals or purposes of a higher nature, it's really not possible for them to be a practitioner of the Dharma.
Tenite ngacho chuba chi yinna zoba chimbo chu nyamslen kan chi yinna pena ngacho khamba jigbo da gormo mambo da teni langkor yakbom teso yo choko mareze te ziwi kaja mareze te yona chokore mena chokore zawadi kareze gzina ta ngacho teso chimbo ma to jang ke la samlo ma tangna teni ngacho chu tang zapo teso nyamlin shi tabiyo mareze shedanga pena nga zu tsin de chubola samlo tangeng mozgina de korangdam chambi chunyamslengi yore wezena yore reti zogba chimbo de tiante di mares.
So what I'm saying here is not that a practitioner of the Dzogchen teachings is not able to enjoy a nice house or a car or lots of money, but if this is only what the only things that they concern themselves with, and they are not concerned with higher attainments, then it's not possible for them to be practitioners of the Dzogchen path. And this is not to say that they can't be practitioners of the Dharma at all, but practitioners of the Dzogchen teachings in particular need, in addition to these other things, to be oriented towards higher attainments.
Tani that ngazo chunyamselena tani tsindo tani shawaleka so mar pangore sone tani songore tsindi shawa so par torgore sone tani songore chugnala.
So it said in the scriptures that it is necessary to abandon our worldly pursuits in this life.
However,
in terms of what it actually means to abandon our activities in this life, there are many levels and gradations of understanding. So Milarepa and the omniscient Lungchenpa, they are examples of practitioners who really and truly abandoned all their worldly pursuits and dedicated themselves solely to the practice of the Dharma. So it's not possible for us to commit ourselves to the Dharma to this great extent. However, it is possible for us to let go of perhaps 10% or 20% or even 30% of our normal worldly activities and turn ourselves to the practice and the study and practice of the Buddhist teachings.
Pena chisu chitamba nala pena nga su chula lojong ma shipi kongla pena nga su chisu chigo nala tani lekale golmo tsar tani shigizi yena tani chula lojong shi tsari jini tani nga su pena chisu gala tani nga su njitenga lekale tani chisu chigla chula lojong shi ya yana chisu gyalla tani nga su njitenga tani lekale chisu nila tani ta chula lojong shi ya ta tani yina yang njukuris.
So for us, it's even okay if we spend generally 10 hours a day on our worldly livelihood and maybe 1 hour on the Dharma, or say 8 hours on our work and 2 hours on the Dharma. This in itself is okay. So if in this 1 or 2 hours a day we really let go and abandon samsara and apply ourselves to the study of the Dharma, then it's quite valid for us to say that within this 1 or 2 hours each day we are abandoning samsara. So the amount of time that we devote to the Dharma each day, we devote to abandoning samsara, whether it be 1 hour or 2 hours or 5 hours, this is something that we need to decide for ourselves. If it's something that someone else determines for us and tells us you should be spending this or that much time each day, and then we're not able to fulfill it, then that's quite difficult. So this is something by necessity that each person must determine for themselves.
Tani nga tsun jikten gangri tini jikten ko shoko shawa na mambo pangni 추쇼거든이 되니 냠린데 야 제망 소나 되니 된지 그거니 가서 드바톱기디 묘보용 거래 배나 지쯤 말아라 바타오 된지나 코랑 건직된 상마빵니 추드비톱거든이 코랑 치스질라 상지 송와래 배나 된다보용 거래서.
So the more that we are able to reduce our samsaric activities and turn ourselves to our dharmic practice, then the more quickly we will achieve, we will make accomplishments in the Dharma. So with Milarepa, for example, he completely abandoned samsara and applied himself to practice, and for this reason, in the space of a single lifetime, attained the state of Buddhahood.
Tani ta nga chu raboina nga chu mang chi shu de la tani jiste yang de zi bang tani chu yang de zi drip ni ka shi yang jiste yang de zi drip chu yang de zi drip ni ka shi ni din ram nim rabo she ne mang chi wa ta din ji shi.
But most of us are people who will continue, on the one hand, to have some level of worldly activities and at the same time to pursue our dharmic practice. And perhaps we'll be able to do this in an equal or a kind of even or balanced fashion.
Tani kantariyang nga cho jisting ge shola tez parma pangna nga cho nyama tabar jiktin kyangba de samlo tang ni de na tani chula nga cho samlo khorwi dirkwi omare kantar jiktin jongzu pangla de pang go re ta de kang dis pang so rang ta go re mambo pang ta na tini nga cho gyogba tani jaba thoyong gore mambo pang matna de tindim gyogbo yo mare ta yena den jung jugres.
So whilst it's up to each of us as individuals to determine the extent to which we are able to abandon samsara, the more we're able to do so, the quicker we will have accomplishment. However, even if we're not able to abandon samsara to a really great extent, still we will make progress. It'll just probably be a bit slow, a bit more at a bit more slow pace. Nevertheless, it is necessary that we do make some sacrifice and that we do abandon our worldly activities to some extent. So, the abandonment of worldly activities to some extent is the first condition that we need for the practice of the Dharma. So there are several conditions that we need for Dharmic practice, and this is the first one. And the next one is relying on a qualified teacher.
Quand la tena yondon son perijon ni tum tata jang de choshit bin sanit dam bipshi nin tambade mi parsim gi tendang jantun drup soni da nga so lama de teni ta tengo gore de lama de kanji se tengo na taringe kona samba ta da nga so nyangma la sam lo tang na tan de lama to so nga so sanit tang damba teni te lama ang tang de la nga so zgre ze teni kong na ban rawina.
So in verse 4 now, by relying on genuine, qualified spiritual teachers. In this verse, we are talking about, indeed, just that, relying on teachers who are qualified. And as I was just saying before, if we look around at the pictures of the masters on the wall, these are all considered completely qualified first-grade teachers.
Teni lama de donda tambo teni korang chu tola goa pe yabo yongken. Teni is go re chu kanda na chabar de zogba chembo sangang dorji thaba teso pe yabo shinken is tengo re.
So in terms of being a qualified teacher, the first thing is having a deep understanding of the Dharma, and in particular a deep understanding of the Dzogchen teachings and the Vajrayana system as a whole.
Teni goas chibo yungo mari chabar de nyamnyung yakbo yungo re lama korang la gum jamni nyamnyung pe yakbo sa yungken on nang la teni goa yakbo tokba yakbo yungken tenji lama tengo re ta korang nyamnyung yakbo yungken kortok yakbo yungken tenji zina teni lama te partasala korang rang rapshung inang jigore chimba inang jigore 강인나 저거래 조조의 그런 냠용약 보고래 뭐또 고와치 뭘 저거 말이지.
So, but not just a conceptual understanding of the Vajrayana and the Dzogchen teachings. We need to find a teacher who has internalized these teachings and developed a deep experiential understanding of them through meditative practice. And it's this kind of teacher that we need, a teacher who obviously has great conceptual understanding, but also great realization.
다니다 선바딩아 좀 차킹 선바가 저 출라더니 야른 직비더니 차킹 선바디 강래잖아. 다니 ngacho dombazu chonggo gorese ta dombade ngacho kyambayna de koran kyambarang la de ni songji de yore rapshong la songji yore de ni shangchi senhwa ga domba yore de ngacho sanga dorji ta ba domba yore kala kangchimsu susorang ga gangri zu song tamna de ni songgo gore ma to ta ngacho song mathabya da de ni mangbu zi yang go mare gangtar sosorang ga gangri song tamna jik tamna ni tamna sim tamna de ni songgo gorese.
And Kempo just said that in respect of the qualified teacher, if they do have this conceptual understanding and experiential understanding, then regardless of whether they are an ordained teacher or a non-ordained teacher, then it doesn't matter. And then moving on to the third condition, the condition that we will assist us in making advancement in our practice. This is the taking of vows. So there are different levels of vows. There are lay vows, bodhisattva vows, tantric vows. The extent to which or how many vows an individual thinks they're able to take on is something that they need to determine for themselves. It's not necessary that we take on everything. However, it is useful and beneficial to have some level of vow taking.
다 대시 자료 진행 아주더니 다 돈바도 지금 갈아간섬부터 종 된디시 자료 진이 되니 다 가서 가르치고 그래서나 당보 되니 가서 로중시고 그래서 당보 가서 검 잡거나 도물 가서 검디 간디 잡고 그래 가서 김승 강급 셔더니 검 잡고 그래 그래서 로중시고 그래서 로중도 마시나 되니 가서 더 시금 말해 되니 마시나 양 가서 때 tabachi boyo na yang den zhe ge mare teni nga so machina teni gom jamni ten shi de na teni gom de yabo yong mo yong da ha go mare de na de don da tangbo de nga so lojung shi ya de pe kar chim boris.
So having made some commitment to moral or ethical discipline through taking on vows, we then move on to the next thing, which is study of the Dharma. And this is important. Faith alone is not going to see us achieve great results in our practice. We need to understand what the content of our meditation and practice is, and in fact why we are practicing it. Just simply sitting down and meditating without having an understanding systematically of how it works, it's uncertain whether or not we will have good results if we do it this way.
Tomet ber marg monhon de shibzh nyom babjin de tawren kem dana jibdi kanzon chorwi shir sonrob jamchum nyanlap chow rig tene nga cho khorwa ga la cherum khorwa thongma mebani tati bar de tene nga cho khorwa ga la khor tene tenji jin do wi jimchen de ka re zina nga cho nelikton yaboz mashiwi jimchen gi tene khorwa ga la khor ko yore te na tene tambo nga cho lojong shi ni mashipa de shibr tene che go re.
And then moving on to the next verse, we address the reason for why we have, since the beginning of time, been circling and spinning around in samsara. And the reason for this is our ignorance, in fact, of the nature of reality. So it's necessary for us to study, to learn the things that we don't know, and advance ourselves in our practice this way.
Tani tupa de she tsari jini tani tupa zamji rondo mo chang tandang tondang tan la yichi nye kawe chat zombi shawa gyapchak ki samshong sherb tikjib shit tin tani tondang nipa de tani nga so 추대 강에 나가서 나와가 나라더니 투바 잠지 용거 말에 나랑서 라마 텐네 라마가 쪽에 추대 지고 그랬다 얘나 지와치 보고 용거 말했더니 소소랑 그 삼로 땅고 그래 삼로 양당 양도 땅나더니 가서 상기라 이치 용거래 추라 이치 용거래 마토더니 가서 라마가 더니 송바치보 잠마토바 소소랑 그 삼로 mambo 마땅나 내가서 때 이치 보더니 기타고 말해야지 때나 더니 ngacho teni ta chapatang teni sopa japjeta zombadang teni goreta ta ngacho mchap mo na la pena ngacho ji ta chapata zobata zombata so ngacho pena gomba trasan da ota teni de mangbu yung go mareta gangtar ngarang choyang teni yindam da ngacho panchen chik chik la rolang chi ya da teni changma teni ji sem go tola ji gangjiin tenjiin samni so so rang samlo mambo tang ya te haliba karchimbore te la sambazi tubadang sambazi nipa sambazi giteres.
So having heard the teachings or listened to the teachings, it's extremely important that we then reflect on the contents of the teachings. So having come before the Lama and heard the teachings, we need to do this, and that is excellent. But without contemplating their contents ourselves, then this will not be sufficient. So in this verse, it talks about the need to debate and do composition and elucidation, explanation, etc. Well, the extent to which monks and nuns do this in the monastery is probably not needed by household or lay practitioners. Nevertheless, it is very important that we do reflect on the teachings that we have heard and engage in discussion between ourselves, reflecting on whether we have an accurate understanding of the teachings. So these two, listening and understanding, very much go hand in hand.
Tani da nga chu nangba tani chuena tani thapa chimbo chu ndolai na da tani ngak dorji thapa yin na da gangi na da bore changma ga tani chini chacham tani ni tangin zin tani samni sherab 어때 대소심보든 가서 되니 추고 낭동 청마 로록신이 디장나 대소심 그디 나란던 거래.
So in the Tibetan tradition, whether we're talking about the sutric path or the tantric path, though the threefold system of first ethical discipline and then samadhi and then meditative wisdom, these are present in either path we pursue.
tani nga zo dangbo tsuchumde gore tsuchumde mena tani gumde taga yakbo jilla kitab ka mares.
Without some level of ethical discipline, then we don't or won't achieve good results in our meditative practice.
tani nipati tangin gumde gore ma to ngate gumde ma gyabna tani nga zo shirabde semka nala yakbo kitab ka mare rigpazina herabzina tani te yongtab ka mares.
And then moving on to samadhi, it's necessary that we do practice meditation. Without sitting in meditation, it is impossible for us to generate and increase our wisdom.
Tani rigpati semganala yakbozo ngaso mena ten nyumong ba par pangona yang pangthab ko mare garde pangna yang da nima khashi dawa khashi lo khashi mato tani tsawani pangona pangthab ko mare te yendam da shirap te gore.
And without wisdom, it's not possible for us to truly do away with our negative afflictions and obscurations. If we lessen them or reduce them for a short period of time, a few days or even a year, without true wisdom, then it will not be possible to eradicate them at the root.
Tani tsuchum mena, ngacho tsuchum da domba mena, tani sim tangin zin kiega marezi, tema kiwi gimtsin de karerezi na pela ngacho tsuchum mafsona pela ngacho ta shawa dikbo mambole mosaya ta kama jawya na dindile ka dikjak mambole jana tani yarkab ko chamdangar yang ngacho yertro yerlik kontrol tangar tani jeti tani sosola tani pela 첨거 jarkab 첨거 돈에 다 차바였나자 되니 가좀 대마였나 가서 수속고 돈에 샤와 득작 망보 레잖아 되니 소소랑 그 셈거 나라 마케바 망보 뇨바 망보 끼니 되니 용거래 되니 용나 내가 저 검잡이네 겁나 셈 되니 마르탐보 용탑 그 말에 검잡이네 겁나 되니 뜻소 짠 용거래 되고 짠 용나 셈 담보 언네탑 그 말에 디 짐선징 아서 검잡거나 담보 가서 쇼바데 약보서 거래.
So the reason why we need ethical discipline and vows and how they benefit our meditative practice is if we don't have these, then it's very easy for us to commit all kinds of negative actions, ranging from thieving to killing people, engaging in illegal behavior, and aside from such extreme examples, other kinds of negative behavior, social actions, etc. And when we sit down to meditate, then we sit down and we want to be in a calm meditative state, but our thoughts will very easily and quickly turn to these actions that we've committed in the past, and we will be full of a sense of regret and this kind of thing, and this will negatively impact our the quality of our meditation.
다니다 가서 처음도 공도 샷살송 다니다 당인전다 시럽닌디 곰 그나라요래 단디 만추니 곰 시작그레스.
So we have finished talking about ethical discipline, and the verses from here on are all talking about meditation.
다니다 곰때 강레제나 Jean-Luc Ramjum Nabi, Tonchin Yang, Rangit Mater Nijundom Bandan, Chewab Zanta, Wonan, Yupig, Adam Don Yang La, Tenjik Yang Jonam. Teni Tambo de Kanrezina, Azo, Rupi Jean-Luc Toning, Azo, Teni Chula Lojon Shine, Teni Rupi Jean-Luc Mambo Shinayang, Azo Rangayang, Teni Chuluka, Teni Shirik Mambo Shi, Teni Parashat Gonayang, Teni Mambo Shat, the Shi, Teni Nayang, Sosoranga Yamlin Shemena, Teni. 셈 것도라든 냠용다 야르기 용지 요마레 때문에 되는 가서 세시말한 조위값 난 치위값이 양더니 야르기 지직만로네 당가서 타마르반다 오시니 되니 세시말한 조거래 때 곰티고 그래.
So moving on to verse 8, beginning with even the most erudite of teachers with vast scriptural learning. So this verse is really talking about the need to put into practice what we've learned. So even people who have teachers, students who have vast knowledge of the scriptures, they've learnt a lot, and even they teach what they've learnt to a lot of people without having internalized it through their practice, and therefore gained an experiential realization of these teachings, that when they confront death and their future life, they will not be in an advantaged position.
Mama Jerry Chusser Ramjimkon, Ralgenderwa Koni Tafsudam, Sila Manchir, Tunji, Zavnan Chok, Nyangab Chit, Temjit Lion Kersoni, Dangazo, Chu Dini Mambo, Tindo, Teso Haleba Mambo, Tini Songare, Yena, Teso Tsama, Tini, Natun Yambo, the Kangrezina, Natsu Suso Rang Nyumumba, Te Par Savani, Tini Mepachia, Tiniga, the Gubati Teresi, Chu, Gubati Tere, Tendi Yending Azo. 추대 냠린지 거를 마토바 냠린 마시네 베나가서 추거더니 이게 뜻소다 측뜻소 간지제지 티토라 짐직만 보지 드리시나 다니 르니 잠바페남 산여르 바다 뜻소단 자원자오렌 저거래 좀르단 산여르 바다 자오렌 저거래 마토바가서 셈라 판톡답고 말이 때인디 추대 쪼쪼데 나랑 저거 셈거 돌아 판톡 약보 용야 셈드니 야르기타야 딘지즈레 딘디 인디 데니 측딜라 삼로 mambutan na tenin jig mare choti tontela samlo tane gum gogres.
So even though the teachings of the sutric and tantric traditions are extremely vast, ultimately what all of these teachings are oriented to is dispelling, eradicating our negative afflictions and obscurations. And so for this reason, if we dedicate a lot of time to analyzing the words, research their meaning, etc., and dedicating an undue amount of time to this kind of endeavor, then really it's not much difference to a normal kind of a mundane kind of philosophical pursuit. So for this reason, it's really important that we focus on the key task and internalize the teachings through meditation.
Tani ta gum gona nga cho kandi gum go rezena gum gorum de ta nga cho tani bogin nang tang kana la ina gum jablu ko tani gorum de pe saru tangbo ka gum tani yang kang gum tani chine pe hale ba saru tani she yore di gorum de nga cho tani gorum tar den ro go re ma to ba tani nga cho gorum tar den monro ni tangbo ni tani chi chun thom bo pe na jog ba chim bon ra da tani to so gum jana tani nga cho sim ko to la pan to yong tab go mare rimbi ro go gres.
So in respect of how, in terms of how we should go about meditating, in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the graduated path or the path with gradations is set out very clearly. How we go from this stage, we achieve a stable state of meditation and then move on to the next stage by jumping immediately to really advanced types of meditation. Then our minds can't really benefit in a proper way or to the full extent.
Tani zogba chimbo nga so to gona tani zogba chimbo ziate nga so tsuk goni par shiani zogba chimbo denji je zeni tani tsuk goni she gona tani nga so she gona te shatab go mareze korang tsuk shato ya tani tondak zo mareze.
And particularly in respect of the Dzogchen teachings, if we are trying to set out in words, in language, to describe this is Dzogchen or that is Dzogchen, it's ultimately a matter, not a matter that we can express in language or through words in this way.
Tani te yendi tani nga so tapshi jambala tani ta togore ma to nga so tsik ta ka shani on de tere zini tani shana pe nga so ngukhmruk bada tsiruk da so sha panda o shini sha jit tani yo mares.
So for this reason, if we're going to realize the meaning of the great perfection, it's necessary that we find another way, another means of realizing it. So unlike, say, physics or mathematics or something where it's possible to set out quite clearly in language, this is what it is and this is not what it is, the Dzogchen teachings require a different kind of method.
다 던지긴 사ting 아주 심 그더니 난가 라 더니 디 망주 거기서 약보 검네 아주 심거 럼바데 야 빠르고 그래.
So it's for this reason that we follow a gradated path, and that by following a path of meditation step by step, we increase the quality of our minds.
더니 심기 럼바데 야 빠르네 아주 심디 때저 럼밤 통분다 어딘지 차소나 더니 아주 족바침보 측다 더니 자다 든지 그 가자 망보 마시나야 더니 거랑 그탑 대보 든지 탑 라보실라 든지 거랑 람상 든지 건조 그랬어.
And if we do follow this approach where we gradually, stably, step by step increase our realization and continue to progress our minds, then ultimately when we arrive at the point when we're ready for the Dzogchen teachings, then just a few words or a very simple and convenient teaching will be enough for us to make a very immediate realization of their meaning.
더니 족바침보가 좀 라마 초양 망보 송거래 더니 족바침보 빼차양 빼찬 특보 는진다 빼 망보 요래다 돼서 참아 과랑초 디 탑시대 했더니 시작해요래 마토바 적칭 뭐마데 지금 샷하고 말해야 돼. 가서 미 측라테니 샷고나 백카보레스.
So even though in respect to the teachings of the great perfection, lamas of the past and present have had a lot to say. They've been given a vast amount of teachings, and even though there are extremely thick texts and writings that set out the Dzogchen teachings, ultimately what's contained therein is methods and not Dzogchen or the great perfection itself. This is not something that can be described directly in words.
더니 나랑서 남칼라 다와 요빈네 그나 좀 줌모 남칼라 저니 다와 너나 샤르도 지니 든지 지지 그레스 제때 좀 줌모도 다와라 특 남양 탑고 말해.
So it's just the same as when we point to the moon in the sky and we say, that is the moon. By looking at the finger, we are never going to know what the moon in itself is.
옛날 nga teni dawa namkalan duuzini chila tanna teni miti koranga teni nzumu dala matani namnang la ta shina te koranga dawa ten tongro gres.
However, by gesturing to the moon with our index finger, if the person we are addressing follows the direction of where our finger is pointing and looks at the moon, then it is possible for them to apprehend it as it is.
Teni dawa namkalan duuzini teni chapine kamna mati namnang la ta mashini nzumu dala tana teni korang namyang dawa tongtab kumares.
However, if when we point to the moon, saying, there's the moon in the sky, the person we are addressing keeps their eyes fixated on our finger, then they're never going to know what the moon in itself is.
Teni indi ta nga so dawa namkalan duuzina teni nzumu la matane teni namkala ta shia te nga so lojong she gores.
So in order, when someone tells us the moon is in the sky and points to it, in order for us to know that at this time we need to look to where the finger is pointing and not at the finger itself, this is something that we need to learn how to do.
Teni te kapsa teni nga so ta te ta shia te la nga so sem goramba de ya pargo goje ramba thumbo tang gore se nga so sem goramba de ya thumbo tang gore pe nga so jimchirda khabarda nduso te teni ta tinala nyeche teni yakbo mambo jigni teni lore ya ramba parko yore tenra poshine nga so sem goramba ya pargo ndus.
So in order to do this, it is necessary that we continue to update or continue to advance the level of our minds. Just as iPads and mobile phones and computers these days have apps and software that get updated every year, continue to get better and better, so too do we need to work on our minds in this way.
Ta teni pargona teni paria ga thapsi te kang rezina teni ngonro kor
So what is the best way for increasing or improving our minds, enabling our minds to elevate in their quality and level? Well, this is to put into practice the preliminary teachings.
Tani zogba chimbo nyamlin chenken ga tani moz yenna tarong zogba chimbo le kyang tani ngonrun do sola karchin che gore.
So even for Dzogchen practitioners, they may be practitioners of the teachings of the great perfection, but the most important part of this path of practice is, in fact, the preliminaries.
Tani ti gimsang kang rezina nga so ngonrun do so yangpo shene so rang sim gorambam thumbo tani parthap sona tani zogba chimbo te nekapsa nga so magona gale koyong gre.
And the reason for this is that through completing the preliminary practices, we are able to increasingly improve the nature of our minds and improve our understanding. Then, even if we at the present moment haven't realized the Dzogchen teachings, certainly it is possible that we will be able to do so.
Tani indi nga so lama so tani ti chusong bikapsi na tani korang so loma pe halepa ga loma tani yakboda tani pe tani korang kam tungchin chia ga tani loma na lama so tangbo ni zogba chimbo songgu mares sona yang te pantho yo mares.
So, for lamas who have extremely good students, extremely dedicated students, and students who they care about and esteem very much, not even lamas who have students like this will give the Dzogchen teachings immediately.
Tani ngarang so tani sem goramba yak po parmena tani lama la nga zogba chimbo sonrochi zeni tani etsik gyabna te yakbo yo mare te sona yang pa lama so sona yang songka mare ta sona ji pantok ji yo mare.
So to say to teachers like this, oh, please give me the Dzogchen teachings, please teach them to me now, this really isn't what we should do. Even if they were to teach us or were to give us these teachings right now, they wouldn't be of any benefit to us.
Pena nga tso lopta chung na la tsawa ni manju ni teni nga tso gergen chigla teni nga ramjum ba ga teni ta lopchut nangro na zena tani gergen ga teni nga tso la te lopta chung yon tharmashin kenzela te ramjum ba ga lopchut gergen ga nang ga mare je kar te na yang te chig phan to mare.
So just as if a person who had never even been to primary school went to a university professor and said, "Teach me a PhD curriculum," if this in fact request were to be made, then even if the teacher were to teach such a thing, it would not be of any particular benefit or use to the student.
Teni nga tso lopta maram don teni lopta daram don teni lopta chimbon don chama don ne de tarsin ne yabore chawi jis teni nga tso lama la ta nga ramjum ba ga lopta jero jeze teni mazi na yang de ka sa teni lama nga tso la ramjum ba ga lopta te ngone chang ne jeung gores.
So if we have followed the proper graduated path, if we've completed our primary school, our secondary school, and our university teaching lessons, then even properly progressed at each stage, then even if we were not to request of our teacher that they give us the PhD teachings or the doctrine teachings, our Lama would give these teachings to us of his own accord.
Teni ti kapsa teni nga tso la lopcha zoba chimbo lopcha shea te teni lama korang la ngen yore teni lama ngen de kra yong gores.
And when a student is prepared for these teachings, then that is the responsibility of the Lama at this point to give them these teachings, and it's the responsibility of them to fulfill it.
Teni tiso te la mahlip ke part teni nga tso rang la teni rang sim yarji tang ya da ramba pariate nga tso rang la ngen yore teni ti kapsa nga tso rang ngen de kar go re ma to nga tso rang teni sem yarje tong ya ngen de makrne teni lama la nga jochin song ro chi teni ze de na te pan to yo mare nga tso su shoni ni ngen yak bo karne ro go res.
However, until we've arrived at this moment when we're ready and prepared properly for these teachings, then the responsibility up until this point is really our own to gradually and properly increase the quality of our minds. So for us at this point or before we've reached this stage, to constantly request of our teachers that they give us the doctrine teachings, please teach me this, please teach me that. Ultimately, it's not appropriate for us to do this. There are responsibilities on both sides, and in terms of preparing ourselves for the teachings of the doctrine teachings, the responsibility of preparing one's own mind ultimately rests with the student.
Tani sim yarje tanga tani korum de kanrezina tani ngonjo kortere nga so thamong go ngonjo ti lodog namba jita tani thamong maim ba go ngonjo jamjo ta semke ta dorsim gonle ta te manjer ta so re to so rembe sagne tani korum tardan ro go res.
So in terms of ensuring the progress of our practice, it's necessary to properly, step by step, apply ourselves to the preliminary practices, starting with the 4 outer preliminaries and then moving on to the inner preliminary practices.
Tani tendi indi shirtang nga so moschiga tani lama mambo la tani lojong shena yang tani shirtang yakbo yores.
In generally speaking, to receive teachings from many lamas is a good thing.
Yena nga so la nyamlin ke tini chet ngone nyamlin ke chet shinkenta tani lama chigla tena te pe yakbo yores.
However, in terms of receiving guidance and instructions in terms of practice, it's extremely beneficial if we rely on a single teacher.
Pena nga so napazina tani nga so mamba chigla tena tani mamba di ngarang so nat kanji yen korang ka hago re chaji yore tani man kang jingo te korang ka hago re.
So just as if we were to be suffering from a physical illness, if we were to see or consult a single doctor, they would be able to develop a familiarity of our condition, and they would be able to know exactly what kind of needs we had, and they'd be able to prescribe the proper medicine on this basis.
Tani te mayemba pela nga so nat nawi ne kamna tani yang also nufshoko mambalaton tani yami mambalaton bog mambalaton mamba mambolaton mambolin mamboza tani shejana tani suso rangla yang panto yo mare tani mamba te cho yang tani tak tela mankari tergo te hago mare.
However, if we were to get sick and to sometimes go and see a Chinese doctor, and other times a Western doctor, and then other times still a Tibetan doctor, and take medicine from all of them and eat all of these pills, then not only would it not be of benefit to our own particular ailment, but the doctors wouldn't know really how to properly prescribe for us either.
당아서 냠린이 시나 대당 직반자 보랭아서 냠린 그 teni perna zogba chimbogo nyamlin rawo teni na teni nga lama yang takpa chila teni rinpa jinda nyamlin shinin ro na teni nga tsu chargi te teni lama koranga hako gore teni nga tsu teni te kap gandiz ka tola teni chu gandi songo nam dzogchin songo tetso yo lama koranga hako gore teni na te pe kar chimbore te nyamlin ngoma te lama chika tongni jina te yabo yore.
And it's exactly the same in terms of the practice of the Dharma, and particularly the Dzogchen practice. It's important for our teachers to know where we are so that they can know the proper teachings to give us at the right time.
Yena nga tso teni perna nangchu teni chi rungni ga konra ta teni nangchu shisha ga konra teni te lojong shena nga tso lama mambo teni lojong shena te natun yo mare te yakbo yore.
However, in terms of study of Buddhist teachings and Buddhist culture, if we are to receive teachings from many lamas, in a general sense, this is a very good thing. There's no problem with it.
Tani ngonro kortere nyeki tenda tangin de mandong wa nyeki tenda arong wa atom waranda norumbam le la pitom jedam shenenda shinda nyekawe tonchinda ma dovla mair chingch da dachin namki tongja namjum thomba si jang mo khomani lotang davar do bi longme ki tarta gechu duvrejan li chen le kim de chenmaza narman tokto wapchi jusumi tartar kardin rawan yotinder rang ranit lina sei kyop zorkin korwi dumur shep tagnam tamba zamgi warfo yonina dang yetake lisim dong yitse jenda yinji rangla tumur jot tatenga so tomongshi ngondo lordong namba jizigreteni tetsoina le laborenga so mashi wanda ota tinti yomarta yina gum ti indamanda gum gore matonga so ota lordong namje ta le labore te gumyachi gumagumchi mundik samni tinti shevjana teni nga so noncher chimboren jore tin nangla shapati so te le labore ta yina le laboti nga cholan chona te gum guna le laboz mare te ripi jongle ko tone le labore ta gum ni teni yongona kabore te yindamanda gum gores.
So the next several verses all pertain to the four outer preliminaries, the four thoughts that turn the mind from samsara. And even though on the surface they seem rather straightforward, rather easy to get one's mind around, in terms of actually meditatively contemplating them and internalizing them, this is quite a different matter. It's quite difficult indeed. So we shouldn't just think, oh, that's easy, I know that, I don't really need to practice it. These are an extremely important part of our practice, and if we were to neglect it, it would be a very great mistake indeed.
Teni nga so lordo namban de jendinala pernan korwa dungurin zeni teni shayore teni matse martak bayin zeni teni songyore te indi partana autosota gumna sem ganala nga so maki pandra teni yongsa ria samni kashi teni sam chikre de ina teni mare nga so korwa dungurin ze teni shayore te ina korwa dungurin na dungur te par tachiya to dungur te par mepa lamte nga chotini yakboz rangro wore lamka te yakboz re raksona tani sozo semganala onkorwa nala dungmarta mambondugte yena te kyongmondo ngaranga dungmarte changmamara partini pang tabgundu takshushi tabgundu samba tendigo samlo te keyona tani nga choyo mtsela rewa sarwa tendi lep tani mtsega nala tani chornyak trechu chornyak tani sarwa tendi to yakbo yone tani mtsete yang chindi tola yang pe kebo tendi rendo res.
So some people might think that by meditating on things like the sufferings of and shortcomings of samsara that one will become quite unhappy and disheartened. In actual fact, it's true that engaging in these contemplations, we certainly do need to contemplate the suffering and the unpleasant aspects of samsara. However, the purpose is not to remain in this state, because we ultimately know that we are receiving a path and we are receiving methods to eradicate this suffering and to transcend this samsara. So in actual fact, the purpose of meditating or contemplating the 4 outer preliminaries is to generate in ourselves a great sense of hope and a great sense of energy and dedication in respect of this path and these methods that are going to lead us out of samsara.
다들 던진 직진 신도 타르칼리 젠빈 니르던 잔니 니르마트 플루밋 켄치 니비 다니전 런친 나스 캬스 텐버르 쩌섬 등머람딘 돌리숑 또 데게임 타다가 잔판 셈린총 대실 함이 돈비 짐약대 라미숑 춥심 쇼케 버르 랑디르 금시학거 안드르샤 올로버 드버드르기 체르요나 잡스르 당즈 즈민 차르카비 또지리아커 나르위 쿄브르 소니다 소나랑아초 디 텀몬 난강원로즈니 데니 타혼로 범가제 데니 데제 데니 텀몬시 응원로 로도 남바 주트 데니 다야보즈 곰차비 지니 데니 아초 디 텀몬 난강원로도서 양야보즈 데니 찌리찌리시니 곰고레스.
And the next several verses are talking about the internal preliminary practices, and these we engage in after we have properly completed our contemplations on the 4 outer preliminaries.
Tani ngonrondoso yabo tani nyamlin mashini tamboni ngaranga jogbachimbo tani nyamlin cheyin zeni tindi zenken tani pe mambu yores.
There are actually a great many people who say that they don't need to do the preliminary practices and are ready straight away for the Dzogchen teachings.
Teni mi jamba matsan ngacho boba ga teni jaba cho na la ina teni ta ngonro ya bo mo gomne teni koran takar dzogba chimbo gomgo samkeng ga teni me mambu yore te yo pi gimtsin ji ngacho ngon gi lama cho ina teni yon jik mare tsone ti tola 갑균 mambo 나요리 티토라 균준 mambo 되니 나요레.
And this kind of idea is not just something among lay Buddhists or among a particular kind of Buddhist in a certain place. In fact, there are many among Tibetan monks, among ordained Buddhists in Tibet who also have this attitude. And in respect of this attitude, there has been a great deal of criticism in the past by lamas and masters. So not just this attitude isn't just popular among students in the West, it's also popular among students in China too. The extent to which this attitude is pervasive among Western students is not something that I have a great familiarity of. However, it's quite possible that it does exist. However, this really isn't a possible, or it isn't a valid attitude to have. When we build or construct a building, it's inevitable, it's necessary that we need to start off with the foundations first. There's no chance whatsoever to start building some kind of structure from midway in the sky.
Lordon namje tataso yampo shone tendi resonwi jini ta karte teni jini ngacho zogbachimbo nguni tane zogbachimbo to karte ngacho la matubna teni chengke menayang pena teni lami namjor teni ngoromboche ga teni ta lamin namjerte yapo nyamlinchi teni ti ola teni lamata teni ngoromboche da suso lama la te sornde yapo jene teni china kale zoba chimbote teni toyong gore.
If we properly and stably work on the preliminary practices and complete them to the requisite standard, then even if we don't receive direct teachings on the Dzogchen tradition, then through having great faith in our teacher and by practicing guru yoga, such as guru yoga on Padmasambhava, and sincerely very supplicate our teacher through this method, then it's quite possible that we will realize the nature of reality in the Dzogchen teachings on our own accord.
Teni ngonro ndo nyamli yakpo che tabna teni ngaso kale teni singni dzogba chimbo tang teni nini sosorang lama la te tapa halepa tapa yakpo te teni rangshik teni rangjingi yongres ngaso ngonro da zo teni ndso thmong maimbi ngonro te so nyamli yakpo che na teni tapa te rangshik yongres ngaso chula tapa lama la tapa te rangjingi ke yongres.
And if we properly complete the inner preliminaries as well as the outer preliminaries, then our faith in our teacher will be self-arising. It will arise of itself.
Tani tapate rangjin ki ke ui gimsen te kangrezena tani tin nane ngaso rangrang nyamlin tani kale gom gyap tani sheong de tani tin nane soso rang gimsen mambo tani soso rang hako yore. Te hakoi tini yongdi teni ngaso chula yechi bayong teni lama layang yechi bayong gre te yechi tela teni tapaze gre.
And the reason that our faith in our teacher will automatically be generated through the preliminary practices is that by engaging in them, we will step by step, bit by bit, develop all kinds of understandings and realizations by ourselves. And in the process of doing this, our faith in not just the Buddhist teachings, but in our own teacher will increasingly grow.
Teni ngaso shirtang teni tapaze ni teni shana ngaso memangboda chaparto teni lonyong da tisi korwa teze gaga yosa mareze gaga meze na parchi tanglin rawo teni shetab ko yosa mareze pena ngaso taba de pekar chembore teni zena tanglin shetab ko yosa marete na te khayo mareze khabe bi gemsen de kareze na ta ngaso korang rang teni taba she goya gemsen zo korang nyamnyung ko thoni thosona teni ngaso taba she gore zini korang la malav na korang ranshik teni taba yakbodo yungoreze teni khosola nyamnyung teni yakbozo mesona teni ngaso tabache gore zina te khoso nge tabache go gimsen karere samni teni sam yongore te khangmanduse.
So this word faith and the need to have faith is probably something that a lot of young people these days don't really feel able to accept. But we shouldn't really blame them for this, and it's in many ways it's quite understandable. Through engaging in the preliminary practices, one automatically, or one grows in realization, then one's faith automatically increases, it automatically grows. And it's not necessary in that situation for someone to be told to have faith. Their own faith will grow of its own nature. So in that situation, it doesn't matter whether or not someone is being told to have faith or not to be told to have faith. If they are generating realization and experience through the practices, then their faith will automatically increase.
Teni ngaso chugo nyamnyung te yakbo teni soso jilla sem ko tola nyamnyung yakbo yoyong na teni ngaso jiktin ga teni shawan de sola tartang la teni ngerwa halipa chimbon ro gore ngaso mite pena ngaso tapa mepi ne ko nyamnyung mepi ne ko na ngaso chowan den ji ker ko yore teni tapa yowi jis nyamnyung yowi jis ya ngaso on chowaten di tola jiktin di tola ker ko yore reti yinna ngaso ti nangwan rawo ta chawani ta mandrawas the changro rezi pe nanga chun jikting shambaz la lip songwan ra o tinjing nawa yong gre.
The way that we approach the mundane world changes dramatically after we are able to grow in our faith and grow in our realization through meditation. So even though we are facing or we're engaging with the same worldly interface as we were prior to beginning in our practice, ultimately it manifests itself, it appears to us in a completely different way.
Tani nga tso tani ka chu nyamnyung tani shanchib ka sem nyangji sherab ti nyamnyung ta yakpo mepi kapsa tani nga tso mo tso na gari tonir she gare zena ta gormo ta so mang ta tani top thang da tasu nga tso chama ga tani te tonir she gare te pe karchim bore samne te ta ka jis nga tso ro rezi.
So until we've been able to, or before we've really begun to start to generate our compassion, our bodhicitta, our wisdom, then the way that we look upon the mundane world is one where our priorities are really driven by mundane concerns, making money and material things and other kinds of worldly pursuits.
Tani ti jisen rona nga so pamjorda mangda toptangdang ti jisen nga so tani rona tani nga so semte jewe je gotok bo rene tani nga so marke ba mambo yong tani sem ko tola nyomon ba mambo yong tani dungor mambo yong tani jen rong dos.
And if in this state we're really to pursue these things, then our minds become increasingly narrow, our suffering grows, so do our obscurations, and this is ultimately how we develop.
Tani nga so chu tani shanchib ko sem chabarda zogba chimbo sherab tesola nyamnyong pe yakbo tani top yongdi tani korang ka nyamnyong ti nangla tani ti mute ta nyama takbar tani nyamnyong ti nangla tani netapa tani je yongdi tani korang pa sim tani ko yangbo re ne otan jisting ka shawan de so ta yongnan jigare ta menan jigare samba te donir ta so tola haliba ka tani ju ta sim ko tokbo she anda ta nyumong ba mambo yong ada tani me pa re ne ta par sim par ju pena metok ba man tani khashi wanda o tani je ne par tani sim ko yangbo re ne tani je ndo re.
However, if one is a practitioner of bodhicitta and particularly the wisdom of the Dzogchen teachings and abides in the state of their practice on a daily basis, then in approaching the mundane world, it really doesn't matter what happens. If this happens or that happens, one's mind becomes so wide and expansive, just like a flower opening into full bloom.
Tani ti nyamnyung te korang chi tani njikten jamba dang tani tsuwa jamba zika tani ngosik songa rawo tani yores.
And the experience that derives from this practice basically enables them to commence or enter into a new kind of worldly reality.
Tani ti kapsa nga so mute so la nge tari kona ngongong nga so shaya tere mute so chila ndeng na yang te koso kore koso par lo ko yangbo re ne tani ta sem ko tola nyomong ba re tani chigti njamra gon zimba te so re tani nyomong ba te so changma meban ra wo chane sem ko yangmo tani lobo tani re sem la jini par jangron ra bo tobni de yong ken ko tani mtinji jen ro re tani nga so chila ndeng na yang tati nga so lang ti chorwan ra wo yong gre.
And a person who develops in this way becomes so open and becomes so expansive without being troubled by negative emotions and afflictions and troubled by all kinds of attachments. Then just as I said at the beginning of today's teaching, just to be in their presence or to receive a teaching from them, we will receive a special blessing, a special power.
Tani ti kapsa tini ti nipa tela nga so char kandewa japtab ko mare tini telam chanya rukpa kandewa japtab ko mare nga so jiteng ko kham ko tini shisha changma yana chanya rukpa kandewa shi jap go sambate nga so halipa godok ko samlo norwas gres.
And in terms of accessing this kind of power or this kind of benefit, it's not something that we can expect to gain from scientists or the scientific realm or philosophers or philosophy. The idea that these realms would be able to explain or solve everything is in fact a very narrow idea to hold.
Tani ti kapsa tini nga tsu ti nipa mukman thong la yang ti nipa ti tani chila yung kang matsang mala yang matsang mala gabo sim gabo da chubo da tani nawa tani kebo matsang mala yang ti korang ka kaja mambo mashit leka mambo malina ti shiki tini matsang mala tini chorwa da sim ga nala tini ter yung koren.
So for a person who is in this state, for others who are beside them, by their sides or in their midst, then even without needing to say much, just being in their presence, they will gain a kind of benefit. They will gain from their presence the energy that they generate, the warmth that radiates from them. And in religious language, we call this blessing, or the power of blessing.
Tani ta ola nga tso mentani marchushet. Ta nguji go tani korata sore ti tangbo tani nga tso kirim go korata tani shakare ti kirim go korwanda kali re zena toji re karo re nantag rig balhar nga chunit nga yene yenber shibi tawa tang mabtur gombim dikap gershena tsarchu jisun zilla wamgirn zo sone ta nga so kirim ziyati kang rezena nangwa nga so mukum thongwa tamje bom tani chakba jina nga so na thupa ga tani dra ta so tamje tam tani rigba jina nga so sim ga tani te samba o tesori teso chama nga so tarta tani nga so parwa imbi ne kamna te nga so mukum thona zik tarta te re dayang tani nga so jaman da te re reta khocho nilikti Nilik Tonishana, Tindi Mari, Natsu Tartan Ton, Mukun Tonatan, Nawa Tubatan, Sim Gusambati, Mubo Koso, Nilik Atsu Tontab Goyomari, Nientab Goyomari, Samtab Goyomari.
So starting at verse 17, the verse beginning with all sights, sound and awareness of deity, mantra and dhammata. So this verse is talking about the generation stage practice. And by sights, we're talking about what the eye can perceive, sound, what the ear perceives, and awareness, the thoughts that the mind generates. Even though we can perceive these at a superficial level in terms of their ultimate essence or their ultimate meaning, when we are in the state of being an ordinary mortal being, we're not able to know this.
Mi sim te kang rezina teni nga so sangi ge teni yishi tang teni chigbare sone teni songore pe na nga so tarta pe na ngaran so semla nyomon ban do chata jerdang da temugda te so mambo ke yore te so nga so anilik yabo mashi pi kaps teni nyomon ban do chak jerdang zegere ti le mambo sakare le sakne nga so jima teni dubo yongore yenna karte nga so ti nilik tonde yabo tok songna tanindo shakda jedang da temugdang korang so tani sangi gi ishita kyabar mea tenji rez.
So in terms of the Vajrayana perspective, we view every being as possessing a Buddha nature that is equal to that of the Buddha. However, it's on account of not understanding the nature of reality that all kinds of negative thoughts, obscurations arise in us. And on account of not understanding the nature of reality, we accumulate all kinds of negative karma, and as a result of this, encounter lots of suffering as well. So it's really on account of not understanding the nature of reality. This is what basically distinguishes us from our Buddha nature, or separates us from it.
Tani te imbi gemsenji pe na nga so sanga dorje thapa nala ngara so rangnit ka liponde tani pe na dorje sempa gomjin rada tani yetam tani ramandala tani gomya tani mambo so yawati gemsen ka rezena tani nil ka thola nga so rangas tani nawa de so tamje bo tarta ina ngaso marik pito gitini shunchilok batini mambo nangayore rete to ngubo tokla teni ngaso mi sem zekite teni digbaz mare mergewa mare teni khorang number takba teni pe namkha takba tawa teni je namkha la pe na chen jamra mambo yowi kapsa teni ngaso namkha ngombon thongko mare nyeman thongko mare dawa karman thongko mare te yena teni chen teso tamchi par mesona teni namkha khorang number takbare te dang rapore ngaso sem ko ngo sem ko ramjin zati tindi yensone songo yores.
So the reason that we in Vajrayana do practices like Vajrayana practice and other idam practices is because even though we routinely engage in all kinds of negative behavior and do all kinds of unvirtuous and unconstructive things, in actual fact, the essence of our mind, our fundamental essence, is primordially pure. So just as the sky in itself is blue and it's clear, nevertheless it can be obscured by dark clouds. However, if those clouds were to be taken away, or if they were to move away, to dissolve, then the brightness of the sky would emerge of its own momentum.
Teninde nga chu lojong she gore ma to ba tarong nga chu tendi zena chama goa len ko na te chu goa len thgi mare nga chu lojong shene kala lojong shena tini gore tani lojong chi sa go jong pe yakshu ti kang re zena jimchu trawa zena kong do jimchu trawa te gore zi jimchu trawa la yi pe cha mambu yore ti nang ni yakshu te kang re zena tani mapam ga tani zapizi tani kanchi mapam jamso go tani zapi tani sangnyang gan jerwa wasar nyangbo oya tani tepe yakshu te tereze tani te tarta boyi yore tani jami yige tani te jai ndugse tani inji yang ta te inji yoswa
Yore.
oya te inji yang ndugse te na tani tepe yakshu te tere te la lo jong jena te ngaso haliba sarwa yakbo hakore.
Of course, it's just sort of saying a few words about this today. It's really not possible to get a very good understanding. This is something that all of us need to commit time to studying, an appropriate amount of time to learning about, so that we can get a good understanding of. And the absolute best source or the best text that we can really gain a good understanding about this from is probably the Magic Net Tantra and related teachings and commentaries by Mipan Rinpoche. And Khenpo particularly recommends a text called Wurso Nimbo.
Teni te lojong chene teni nyimba teni jangogore yetam ta susurang yetam gang ni tenna chokore yetam ten teni nyimba jang teni shena teni yang aso semde tele yang yargi haliba yang bonro reze ngaso kongdo teni ngonro te so chama charwi jis teni yetam pena ngaso parwa donna chokore te jamba yang na tele jamba china chokore ta ngaso pena nyangma rawo ina 망치 쉬고 되니 돌지 퍼와 되니 더 예담 제거래 다ting 이바요 말에 소소랑 그 강인나 초코래 드리시니 예담 된 되니 님바장 드리신 참라 되는 듯나 대영아서 하리바가 셈고 돌아 야지 약본로래.
So having completed the preliminary practices, then the next thing to do is to turn to the generation stage practice and practice on a particular idam. So in the Nyingma tradition, a very popular and common idam is Dorji Purba, but in any case, whatever particular personal idam you may have, to practice on this, to practice the sadhana, if possible, to do a retreat or retreats on your idam will bring immense benefit to your practice.
Chosur shepjang li jim churngorji dersar martok chosang gni na osur jimi li la wamjur shir zorum tgi tgler tambar riks ta teni nga so kerim de teni gom chawi jini teni zorum de teni gom gore 대나 조름 때라다 망부요래 대나 배나 조바 침보이나 티 조름 그나네 되니 약슈 때리다 조름 그나니 약슈 때되니 다 조바 침보래지 된디 셔탄티 조름라 망부요래 배나가 저 배나 조낭바 되니 고미야 배나 pardan tikin kholo yena tini yang zorum gna ni zorum yashu chire de ma tsaba ti bena giluk na la yang yore sarkya gna la gargi gna la ta zorum ko korte pe mambore tini ti zorum te so yang gum thamna pe yabo yore si phansum sobare ndore.
Following the generation stage teachings are the completion stage teachings. And in the Tibetan tradition, there are many of these teachings. Each tradition and lineage has its own specific teachings. In the Dzogchen teachings, the Dzogchen practices are the best teachings, but the Jonang and Giluk and the other lineages as well also have their completion stage teachings, and to be able to study this or learn these teachings is a wonderful thing.
Teni zorum de gomgona tet nyota yore te indi tini nga chopena nyangma la sanglo tangna ta mambo zkati zorum ramba shini tini gomgumare kerum gom yetam ge nyemba tang tini she charwi jini tene ko so takar zogba chimbo gomgore zogba chimbo yang tini zorum ge nane nang ti nane chakshu ta ti zangshu chigre te indi nyangma ina tini mambo zkapena te ti khor ka nala yo pi zorum rata to so yang te gomkin te nyung res.
In the Nyingma tradition, when it comes to the completion stage practices, they're perhaps not as detailed or as elaborate as the completion stage practices in other lineages, such as the color chakra teaching. So once the generation stage idam practices are completed, then students move on to the Dzogchen teachings, and the the completion stage practices are encapsulated in these teachings.
Nyingmen ba labar dorkos tagge jerker wo jinjong kawe yang sel nyang thu nyimi zen chang bam taksam tabden chok jinjen ber tene nga cho tartan ra boyena deni mei changma deni semla nyomomba mambo yore deni chowa ga thola yena pamjurda yar gire te mai yo mar nonshik mambo yore te mi sem ti tangen zgumne mar tambo ti yongana pe khabo yore teni mo changma la tichu yang mambo mandu tenji yendi ta nga cho chi jamba keram da zorum da tenji mambo gomna tela chik tini jimji yakbo yong te khabo re tenji yena So
we live in an age where many people, despite having a fairly good material standard of living, nevertheless have a lot of mental pressure. They experience a lot of negative emotions, obscurations, etc. So most people don't have a great amount of time. So if one is to engage in very elaborate generation and completion stage practices with these set of conditions that we have, it's probably not likely that we're going to achieve particularly good results. So it's for this reason that the Dzogchen teachings are particularly suitable for people at this time.
Salam chichun jewi tanche zin chojang ne vjitang zitang gi rahna yang tir per lonsho na zonjum koru men ba yang sayal navjim tarin kyol pochin worker tul men tani zogba chimbote tani tap halipa tap dipurezi tani tap nyota tani mambo ta pena kerm danda tani yang lamambo goya dada yang zorum go pena chalung go tani chi mambo raw ta tiso yo mare tani tap halipa labozre.
So the Dzogchen teachings are quite convenient and simplified in comparison to the elaborate practices of the generation and completion stage practices in other traditions that require a lot of idam practice or otherwise meditation on winds, drops and channels and the like.
대 있나 원조 뒤서 양 딱바진 저거래 막 또바 저바 침보 있나 다 원조 마소나 양 판바지지요 말해서.
However, it is extremely important that students of the Dzogchen path properly complete the preliminary practices. This is absolutely essential, and without having done this in a proper way, then it is not possible to gain good results in the higher teachings.
드니 조바 침보디 공급가리 드니 송고요레제나다 고조 베나가서 실록라 드니 가서 드니 사치 메롱이나 드니 저 즈자즈로 드술란 립십 망보 잡고요 말이지 조바 침보나 타커 가서 미 셈딘 든지 제즈니 드니 미 셈란 즈무즈니 오차고요레스.
So the Dzogchen teachings don't spend a lot of time explaining through words the appearances and sounds and sights and thoughts, the various phenomena. The Dzogchen teachings point directly to the essence and to the reality of the mind.
Tani mi sem tini yabo gosongdi tini ti mi sem di kangri yabo gosongdi tani nga so sem nang la yo nyomong ban jamada tani sem ga nang la pe na non shikda tani chi tini ga tokba da tani semsir sem la tani sem digbo yong ta so sama sem ti yabo shi song na tani sama nam kala chen me ba chak ban ro rene men ro yo res.
And once a person realizes the nature of their mind, then obscurations, negative emotions, afflictions, anxiety, worries, they dissolve of their own accord and and mature, become like the sky when it is dispelled of clouds.
Samo malam mewi nerkabna ngaso malam mewi nerkabs tani malam te yemba mashina tani malam te yemba te korang zambare rete te ngaso mashina tani malam te ngaso nyember ngaso tsowa nala nguyo kun tsowa nala shongwe nesir ta chikpa ndawo shene tani ngaso la dungmer mambo yongore yang gawa yang yongore njam mambo yongore je malam yemba mashina tani renduwazi.
So it's just like when we're in a dream but we don't realize that we're dreaming, then all of the various things that are taking place in the dream, even though they're not real, we experience them in terms of their feelings and perceptions and sensations in exactly the same way that we do occurrences in our daily life.
Teni tetan rabore ngaso semte teni yabozo ngo mashina teni sem ganala teni jikchak mambo yongore toba mambo yongore rewa mambo yongore teni nyomomba mambo kyere ta namgin semte ngaso mari bada manim bada teni tadak marki bada teni tada matok ba sempar geyangboda sempar teni janror tosungman rawo teni te yong tobgo mareze ngaso semte mashina.
And it's exactly the same with our minds. When we don't understand the essence of our mind or the reality of our minds, then we become afflicted with all kinds of negative emotions, with all kinds of hopes and fears and doubts. It's not possible for our minds to open out in an expansive and vast way.
Tani karte nga tsu mulum mojimbi nekabna nga tsu mulum yimbati haku sona tani ta lamsang tani pela nga tsu njikchak mambozi yungo na njikchak te tsu tsangma lamsang tani mebachang rogo nduwazi mulum te korang mulum yimba haku sona te mebachang rogo res.
It's just the same as if we were to awake from the dream, and upon that instant of awakening we realized that our fears were completely nothing, they were not real in nature, and so it is when we realize the nature of our mind. All of the obscurations and afflictions up until that point dissolve themselves.
Teni tetang raboshini nga tsu semde teni korang kusona korang ganrizigente yakbozi shisona tani nga tsu semnangla teni yopi teni njikchakta dungwarta nyomongpata teso tamso lamsang tsangma teni mepa teni changdo res. Garti mepa machak nayang teni di teso nga tso la dungwar kanyang teni terga mare dungwar ter tabga mare si teni nipa de yo mare nipa de mepa changdo res.
And again, so it is with our mind. When we realize essentially what our minds are, realize the nature of our minds, then all of those negative mental states immediately dissolve. They cease to have any power.
Tani tendi ti semgungo zegonate sem korante tenga so semkumruk ba tendi shi japtab go yamare kandi ha go yamare sanyerik ba nga so lo tongchani dal renjo yore tendi shi japtab go yamare sarik ba ga dewe yang darong semzena laba yenna manna kandi yenna darong ha go yamare chige yang shi japtab go yamare.
In terms of the essence of the mind, this is something that psychologists and psychiatrists don't have a conclusive answer in respect of, neither do philosophers. Insofar as scientists are concerned, they're still debating whether or not the mind is the brain, and there's no conclusiveness there either.
Tani ti kapsa nga so sem tendi shine so rang nyomong ba de so mepare chawi jis tani nga so samla o ta ngi mi chamala tini gimchen ngi mi chamala lab go ndu mi chama yang tini ta de shi go ndu mi chama de shi sona tini mi chama dungor me pa de yong gore samni tini khorang ko mo chamala de gimchen da par tini shianni tini mo chama yang tini mulum go nang ka saban ro tini che gore tini tela zobachim bo tok sawi jini tini jantun drivers ke tini zres.
But through realizing the nature of the mind through the Dzogchen teachings and ultimately waking up from the dream and discovering the nature of mind, upon doing this, a person then experiences a very strong desire to share this knowledge with others so that they may too understand the nature of their minds and thus be free of suffering.
Tani zogba chimbo perna nga so terang rawozala zogba chimbo tosona tani terang ni ta nyomomba changba mebarin ro orezina tenro mareze darung ya nyomomba kigerez.
Of course, if we were to say that, oh, today I've realized the nature of reality in the Dzogchen teachings, would this then mean that all of our suffering dissolves immediately, or that no negative thoughts are ever going to arise again? No, of course not. Of course, they will continue to arise.
Tani tok charwi jini tani gumjab go gore gumjabna tani tokbate jevzang ro gore ko yargin ro gore.
After we have realized the nature of reality through the Dzogchen teachings, it's necessary that we stabilize in this realization through ongoing and continual meditation, and then the nature of that realization will continue to deepen and improve in its nature.
Tani perda nga so tarta zogba chimbo martok pi kapsa nga so la nyomong bada tasu kina sem gana la kina halle pa nipa chimbo tani sem na la dungur mambo tani terkan tani nishik chimbo chande perda nga so gun gine kapna lakpa hat leba chimbo yombi ne kapsa tani long gyawona tani long te nga so te lita pakpa par chan rowan raw pung rowan raw tani chora yore da zogba chimbo martok bi ne kapna nga so nyomong bada tani zres.
Prior to realizing the nature of our minds, then the various negative thoughts that arise in our mind stream, the various kinds of suffering that we encounter really do cause us to feel an extreme sense of suffering. It's rather like in the middle of winter being exposed to extremely cold and bracing wind, and the feeling that this generates when it makes direct contact with our skin.
Tani zogba chimbo tok charwi jini gum jabna tani nerkapsa kandirin ro rezina nyomong bat yo re da yinang tepe na nga so tongka da shika ga tani long rawo long yong gore long yong na yang tani nga so ti long di pakbala ti ragna tani njambo rawo tani ma tok ba tani hali pan khakbu da tani yong thok ma re ta tendra bore nyomong ba ke gore ta yinang ti nyomong ba di nga so la dungur mambo da tani However,
after we've realized the nature of our minds, then it's rather like being exposed to perhaps the wind or a breeze in autumn or in spring. So, and even though negative thoughts do arise, the suffering and unpleasantness that they engender for us becomes gradually less and less.
Tani zogba chimbo tani tokba tani rigba ti tani nyomong ba chok tsan ra wote meba chi ja yore te indi e korala ni ba yo mares.
And it's possible through continuing practice for the sources of these negative thoughts and emotions to be completely eradicated so that they are without any effect or influence completely.
Tani tarung montani gomna tani kale ta nyomung bade tsawane meba kiyang meba tani changzhore tani semgonala tapata nyajeta shirabta tenji matok badani nyomung bade so tsawane meba changzhore.
It's possible to attain a state when we no longer generate any kind of negative thoughts or afflictions whatsoever, and instead all that remains is faith and compassion, bodhicitta and wisdom.
Tani lama daso sama nga tsuti nyangma ga nani ta tenji ga tola lep chanken ga mo tenji takdak res.
And these lamas whose pictures on the walls we can see are masters who have arrived at this point in practice.
Tani kongso tani nga tso tarta zogba jimbo nyamlin shinken tso mukhui res nga tso mukhui.
And they all serve as our models and exemplars in our practice.
Tani tenji zire tani zogba jimbo te nga tso nyamlin chia te karte yakbozo yung sona nga tso tari gona chapa te tenji tsat tenji zila lep gona te matsi mangbo tenji go ma res so so ranga yakbo she tamna matsi ndi tola tenji tsat tenji zila lep tab gres.
And if we are to reach such a standard or such a level in our practice ourselves, it's possible for us to be able to do it in a single lifetime. It's not necessary that we need many, many lifetimes in order to achieve this.
Derkit zhongtsik tumchut nyanga tam loksir jipi nyansik dogman yang torshong longdur ndemkar pangwanda nganje ringzim jipi rangshi la gewande yi malin rowar nam kewji jartam chokla wam jorjang dagtang janghor joni nyangstub tang kachik tsang jarur makir chik jibandana janag rawor tsingi yangwen lamchong janghor joni jarte chipchag chigla zabji chunkur korwi rishsir ngawang lochun somme pe titsut karma nyeksim ki yin la sharmar feba gi tani terang atso
So that brings us to the end of today's teaching on the heart essence. Everybody listened so well today, and thank you very much.
Ega nanje walong zhomba, tibin zolin zho, zho zho. Shedaran jemba da, kanda zambo deyang deja, teda genji jiza dalo, gewa da da damje randa, shabe jarwa damje, uwa gawa joda ngaba. Nāngā zawan da da, zombo zhō zhō, da ngō rā